Okay, let's just dive right in. We're about to explore some of the biggest questions we can ever ask, and it all kicks off with a massive, furious debate that's happening right now among the world's top physicists, a fight about the very first moments of our universe. That right there, that was the reaction of Alan Guth, an MIT physicist and basically the father of cosmic inflation theory. He was responding to an article that claimed his entire life's work, the leading explanation for how our universe got started, was pretty much untestable. And if it's untestable, well, then it's not really science, is it? And look, this isn't just some friendly debate over coffee. This is a fundamental, knockdown, drag-out fight about the soul of physics itself, about how we're even supposed to do science when we're trying to understand the Big Bang. So on one side, you have critics like Steinhardt and Loeb. They're basically saying that inflation theory has gotten so flexible it can explain literally anything. And if a theory explains everything, well then it explains nothing. To call it unverifiable is a huge accusation. It's saying it's not science anymore, it's closer to myth. But on the other side, you've got 33 of the most brilliant minds in physics, including Stephen Hawking, who signed a letter basically saying that's complete nonsense and the theory is perfectly testable. This whole fiery argument over our cosmic birthday party, well, it opens up an even weirder, more unsettling possibility. If the very start of everything is so debatable, what if the rules of the game, the laws of physics themselves, aren't as solid as we think they are? All right, prepare to have your brain bend a little bit. There's a theory out there that suggests the physical laws we take for granted, gravity, electromagnetism, all that stuff, might just be a matter of perspective. It's called clock ambiguity, and the idea is nuts. It suggests that if you had one true theory of everything, you could make it describe a universe with totally different laws of physics just by choosing a different clock to measure it with. The laws aren't absolute. They're relative to how you measure them. In other words, the rules might just be an illusion created by the ruler. Just think about what that means. You could start with a universe that is nothing but pure random chaos, a total mess. But the moment an observer inside that mess decides on a specific way to measure time, poof, an ordered reality with predictable, stable laws just appears out of thin air. Order from chaos, just by looking at it the right way. So, we've got a universe with a contested beginning and maybe flexible laws? It's a bit dizzying. So, where do we fit into all of this? Well, it brings the camera zooming in from the vastness of the cosmos right down to our own story. And as it turns out, we're living in a pretty special time. There was this incredible study that mapped out all the major game-changing moments in human history, from taming fire all the way to inventing AI. And what they found is just wild. The amount of time between these world-shaking breakthroughs, it's been shrinking exponentially. We're changing faster and faster. But here's the twist. The folks who charted this crazy acceleration discovered that our collective complexity, the richness and intricacy of our civilization, isn't just a line rocketing upwards forever. It actually follows a very specific shape, a bell curve. And guess where we are on that curve? Yep, we are right at the very top, the apex. According to this model, we are living through the absolute peak of human complexity. After this era, the pace of those massive society-redefining breakthroughs is actually predicted to start slowing down. The model even puts a date on it. It predicts the next major milestone around the year 2052. But it'll be a smaller leap in complexity than the one AI just gave us. So here we are, standing on the summit of our own story, looking out at a truly bizarre cosmos. Which of course brings us to the biggest question of them all. Now that we're here, at our peak, in this weird universe, what does it all mean? Well, there are two radically different and frankly equally powerful ways to answer that. First, there's what's known as the fine-tuning argument. This is the observation that the numbers governing our universe, the strength of gravity, the charge of an electron, are tuned with this insane precision. I mean, if you just nudged one of those dials, even a tiny, tiny bit, poof, no stars, no planets, no us. It's like someone hit a cosmic bullseye from across the entire universe. The other view? It's called the absurd, and it was championed by the philosopher Albert Camus. It's the feeling that we are these meaning-hungry creatures, constantly screaming our questions. Why are we here? What's the point? Into a universe that is just silent. A universe that is fundamentally mindless and totally indifferent to us. So which one is it? Are we the whole point of this perfectly calibrated cosmos? Is our search for meaning the very reason it all exists? Or are we just a lonely cosmic accident on a little blue planet, making up stories to keep warm, forever pushing our boulder of meaning up a hill only to be met with cold, empty silence? How do you even begin to choose between those two? It's a lot. But maybe the problem isn't with the answers. Maybe it's with the question itself. And that brings us to a simple and absolutely brilliant analogy. This idea was inspired by the great Douglas Adams, and it just reframes everything. Imagine a puddle of water. It wakes up one morning, looks around, and it thinks to itself, wow, this hole I'm in, it fits me perfectly. Every curve, every dip, it's exact. This hole must have been designed specifically for me. And that right there is the ultimate question. Is the universe fine-tuned for us by some grand design? Or are we simply the puddle, marveling at how perfectly we fit the only hole we could have possibly existed in the first place? What you take away from that? Well, that's entirely up to you.